Alright, so here's my fuel rail setup. I've got 8 AN line coming up into the passenger rail, feeding these 3 injectors. We've got a 6 AN crossover. That comes over to here to feed these 3 rails. And we've got a plug in the back. So it looks like a returnless system at a first glance. We come back here, I'll explain all this mess. So what I have is we've got this here is the supply from the tank. That supply from the tank goes through a pre-filter. This is a high micron filter, so it's it's a coarse filter essentially, and that fills up the surge tank. Okay, now the overflow from the surge tank goes back here, back to the tank. So this is an 8 AN supply and a 6 AN return. This goes back to the return on the tank from the surge. Okay. From the surge tank, I've got the 2 044s staged. So this draws from the tank, and these both come over here. Sorry, that sun's bright. And they come around and they feed the regulator. Okay. So these both feed the regulator. This is from one pump, this is from another pump. This is the return down here. This return comes up here. This is my ethanol content sensor. And it comes back and returns into the surge tank. So that's it. Normally on a normal setup, this would go all the way to the front and come back. There's no need to do that. No need to do that. Okay. You've got your vacuum line here, my vacuum and boost line here, and then this is our regulated. Fuel going up to the rails. This is a fine particulate filter here. This is a manual fuel pressure gauge, electronic fuel pressure gauge. And then this bulkhead here goes back up to the front. So, I think I'm the first person to ever do this on a Super Coupe. But this is how all the Evo guys and everyone else does it. And the tuner was telling me, I had Decipha help me with the tune. He says everything tuned out beautiful. Had absolutely no problems with it. So as you can see, it's idling right now. And we've just got rock steady fuel pressure. It's bypassing. It's doing a great job. I'm not talking that loud. I mean, it's the car's running, so you can kind of get a gauge how loud those pumps are. They're not bad, especially with the seats folded up and the cover over it. Over here on the side, I've got my wiring. So I've got 2 relays for the pumps. This is my Hobbs switch. The Hobbs switch just activates a second relay. Both of these are triggered by the factory fuel pump trigger. So that's pretty easy. Pretty easy setup. So, if I throw the spare tire back in, you can hear how much quieter it gets. Now all you hear is the exhaust. And you can hear it from the inside, but it's not obnoxious. You can barely hear it.